Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on European Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it was sent to me by one of our dear brother. Strange things do happen in this world. So the message reads like this. Hello, my brother. How are you? Can you please post my own story as hidden identity? So, my brother, I came here to South Africa, but the problem that happened to me was that when I came here to South Africa, I then started to fall in love with these South African women. You know, there are those South African women that have these very big curves and they are light skinned, and those are my type. So I tried to approach several women that were my type who were South African, but all of them, because of my poverty, they kept on laughing at me. So I then returned back home, but I had just gone back home to do some other stuff. Whilst I was back home, I then remembered that there was this other old man. So growing up, we were told that this old man, he had this other charm that is called Gondwa or Turika, which means that he can transform himself and he can become a rat. After he would have become a rat, he can actually sneak into any woman's bedroom. Then he will transform himself. After doing that, that was when he will make love to that woman using these charms of his. So when I was back home, I went and I spoke with that old man and I said that I am looking for any kind of assistance because there in that foreign land where I am working, I have seen this woman, I have seen these women that are really beautiful, but the problem is that I can't get to them because they want money and I do not have money. That old man then said that he was going to think about it. So there was a day when I had just left my father's compound and I was at the grocery store just sitting there. That was when I saw one of his grandkids came and he told me that the grandfather was looking for me. So we rushed back to that old man's compound and I found him. He was waiting for me. He said, "My son, or my dear son, are you sure that you want to do this?" And I said, "Indeed, I want to do this. I want to taste these beautiful South African women. Can you please assist me?" Then that old man said, "Yes, I can assist you. You're going to be dating the most beautiful women in that foreign land. No one is going to have the strength to resist you, for I am going to give you charms whereby any woman that you desire, that woman, surely she is going to be yours." I was excited, so I then started to follow this old man. We walked, my brother, because he kept on pointing at this other mountain which was very far away, but we kept on walking until I grew tired. But he told me that we were almost there. When we were in that mountain, I was really scared. This mountain was in a remote, it was in the most remote part of our village, where no one would even dare to go to that forest. When we were walking in that forest, one could tell that this forest that we were roaming around, it was actually the habitation. In that forest where we were, you could tell that there were a lot of leopards and like your wild animals, but he told me that everything was going to be fine. So we kept on walking and we climbed up this other mountain. When we were in that mountain, he showed me this other cave and he told me that inside that cave, that is where he kept all of his charms. And indeed, every stories that I had heard about him, of him transforming himself and becoming a rat, and then he will be able to sleep with any woman that he will be lusting after, it was nothing but the truth. So he told me that I had to follow everything that he would be doing when we would have entered into that cave. So I followed behind him. Finally, when we were in that cave, he walked to this other corner of that cave and I saw that there were some clothes that were still brand new that were neatly folded in a corner. We went to that place and he knelt down and he told me that I had to kneel right behind him, and we started to clap our hands as he was worshipping whatever gods, the gods that resided in that cave. and he started to offer these brand new clothes that he had left in that cave. That was when I saw a demon that appeared from nowhere. This demon, my brother, it was really scary, but it was like a short man. It was like a dwarf of a man. Then this little demon, the only part that surprised me was that its manhood, the manhood was really long, and as it was walking, it was actually dragging its own manhood on the ground, and this really shocked me. That was when they started to communicate. After they had spoken, that old man then told that demon that the reason as to why I had accompanied him, it was because I also wanted to have those powers to sleep with any woman that I want, any woman that I desire. So that demon said that it was going to bless me. The demon then handed me this other rat, and I was told by that old man that I had to make love to this rat. And I took that small rat and I pointed my manhood into that small private part of that rat that as I was holding it in my hands. Then I started to make love to that rat. After I was finished, and after I had left my semen inside that rat, then the demon said that I was supposed to eat that rat alive. But before I had done this, I was told that this rat, it was supposed to bite me on my manhood. So I let that rat to bite me on my manhood until I felt that it had chewed off one of the veins that is underneath my manhood. After that was done, I was then told that I had to bite this rat. After I had done this process, I was then told that I was supposed to eat that rat alive. So I started to eat that rat. After everything was done, I was told that now I had the spirit inside me, the spirit that was going to make it possible for me to have this thing that is called sex magic. So me and that old man, we climbed down the mountain. As we were passing through the grocery shop, then that old man asked me if I had any money at all. So I told the old man that indeed I had some money. The old man then told me that I had to go and buy 2 items that were still needed for these rituals. And after I had bought those 2 items, we then went to his compound. When we went to his house, he called me to his bedroom. He then took this other reed mat and he told me that I had to sleep on top of that reed mat. And he told me that I had to undress myself. So I undressed myself. So even right now, on my back area, there are 2 tribal markings there. So they control me so that I can make love throughout the night without ever resting. He then told me that I had to sleep with my back and I had to lift my legs. So I did, Brother Nashi. That was when he lifted my balls just a little bit, just underneath your balls. That is where he placed some of those markings. It was really painful. After that, he then sprinkled some herbs and he told me now I was like him. I could do whatever that I wanted. If I would come across any woman that I would lust after, at night I would actually go and sleep with that woman. Any woman that I want, I can actually sleep with that woman. With so much excitement, I returned back to South Africa and I started to test everything to see if indeed these charms were working. And indeed they were working, my brother. So currently, I think that I have slept with more than 100 South African women. Some of them, they even beg me to make love to them, like to have a threesome, 2 ladies against 1 man. And I have so much strength in bed, so much that these ladies, whenever I am dating them, they want me to continue dating them because of the strength that I have when I am making love to them. This is my own confession, Brother Nashi. So usually what happens is that if I am walking maybe in the city, so usually what happens is that when I am walking, if I come across any woman that I see to be very beautiful, so what happens is that when I am walking, if I come across any woman that my heart desires, immediately when my manhood will go erect, then that woman will start to have feelings for me because of these charms that were placed on my back. It does not matter if this is a rich woman or a poor woman. And when I tell her that I have feelings for her, already I would have finished with her spiritually. She will become more like a zombie to me and I'll be able to do whatever that I want with her body. This is my own confession, Brother Nashi. Yo, dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by our dear brother. Strange things do happen in this world. Just imagine sleeping with a rat and after that eating that rat alive. Yo,